Uber upended how we get from point A to point B. But as the rideshare company has grown, so too have accounts like this.
I was basically taken for 2.5 hours in an Uber car. The next day I had defensive wounds.
I told my mom and my sister, and they were just like, no, that's sexual assault.
Tonight, for the first time, Uber is publicly releasing its own data on sexual assaults. Over the course of 2017 and 2018, the company received nearly 6,000 reports of incidents during or after Uber rides, ranging from groping to rape. Roughly 4 reported rapes every week, 1 in every 5 million rides.
That's a hard number, but I'm not surprised. And I'm not surprised because sexual violence is just much more pervasive in society than I think most people realize.
Tony West is Uber's chief legal officer, spearheading the study released today, together with input from sexual violence advocates.
I was surprised to read that about half of the victims are riders and the other half are drivers.
That's right. And so this is not just a one-sided problem. We have to keep in mind that both drivers and riders are victims.
According to the study, Uber is aware of law enforcement's involvement in 37% of the reported rape cases.
That number seems kind of low to me. Just 37%?
I'll tell you, one of the facts about sexual assault is that it is a very underreported offense. Uber shouldn't make that choice for survivors. Survivors should make that choice for themselves.
It also opens up the possibility that Uber is aware of someone who potentially raped someone else who's out in the public without involving law enforcement.
As someone who is a former law enforcement official, I understand the tension. We have lots of information about an incident that we will share with law enforcement if we get the consent of the victim.
Uber's study reveals that more than 40,000 drivers were banned in the U.S. in the last 2 years as part of continuous background checks for a variety of reasons, including sexual misconduct. Uber announcing tonight they plan to share those names with other rideshare companies.
What do you hope to show with these numbers over the years?
We hope to see and hope to learn a number of things. I think first, we want to raise awareness. The other thing we want to show is that we're developing best practices.
Among new safety features, Uber is adding the ability to text 911 from the app, unique PIN codes for rides, and on-trip reporting.
Were there ever any internal conversations where people said, this could hurt our business, these numbers?
Sure there were. It was hard. But it's important for us to push through that discomfort and to talk about these issues. And Uber couldn't simply ignore what was happening on its platform. And most importantly, we have to then address it.
Stephanie, I know this study addresses issues beyond sexual assault safety. What else does it look at?
Uber looks at fatalities as well, Lester. They found 107 deaths because of crashes over this 2-year period, according to their own comparison. They also tell us that they're going to do a study just like this every 2 years to compare the data.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.